Hello, good afternoon everyone. I'm Helen August from TCC 1A. In this video, we will learn about child and adolescent development. The physical, cognitive, social, and emotional growth that takes place in the first years of child's life sets the foundation for success or failure in learning and life. Child development. This refers to the biological, psychological, and emotional changes that occur in human beings between birth and at the end of the adolescence as the individual progresses from dependency to increasing autonomy. It is a continuous process with predictable sequence yet having a unique course for every child. What is the importance of child development? An understanding of child development is essential because it allows us to fully appreciate the cognitive, emotional, physical, social, and educational growth that children go through from birth and early adulthood. We will be able to cater the needs of diverse and learner-centered education. Now let's go to the four concepts of human development. Number one is the child. This refers to a young person who is below the age poverty and age legal maturity, which varies among cultures because every country has different cultures. Number two is the term adolescent. This derived from the Latin word adolescer, which means to grow up into maturity by Mass 1990. Number three is the growth. This refers to the progressive increase and continuous advancement of the child to maturity. Number four is the development. This refers to the gradual and orderly unfolding of characteristics of the individuals as they go through successive stages of growth. Let's go to the human development, its meaning, concepts, and approaches. What is human development? It is the pattern of change that begins at conception and continues through the lifespan. This change can be growth or decline or decay. Growth refers to the positive changes that lead to maturity that is increase in physical aspects of body's structure and improvement of their functions. The term decline or decay refers to the negative changes that lead to the deterioration and degeneration. There are 5 characteristics of human development. Based on Paul Butt's concept, the lifespan of development, he named it 5 important characteristics of development. Number 1, development is lifelong. It does not end in adulthood. Number 2, development is plastic. Plasticity refers to the potential for change. Development is possible throughout the lifespan. It means that no one is too old to learn. Number 3, development is multidimensional. Balls is referring to the fact that a complex interplay of factors influence development across the lifespan, including biological processes, which involves changes in the individual's physical nature, cognitive processes, which involves the individual's thought, intelligence, and language, and the social emotional processes, which includes changes in the individual's relationships with other people, change in emotion, and changes in personality. Number 4 is development is contextual. In Ball's theory, the paradigm of contextualism refers to the idea that 3 systems of biological and environmental influences work together to influence development. Development occurs in context and varies from person to person, depending on factors such as person's biology, family, school, church, profession, nationality, and ethnicity. And the last characteristics of human development is multidirectional. Both states that the development of a particular domain does not occur in a strictly linear fashion, but that development is certain traits can be characterized as having the capacity for both an increase and decrease in efficacy over the course of individual's life. Let's go to the stages of human development. The lifespan of individuals can mainly be divided into 5 stages. Number 1 is the prenatal stage, from conception to birth. The process of prenatal development occurs in 3 main stages. The first 2 weeks after conception are known as the germinal stage. The third through the 8th week is known as the embryonic period. And the time from the 9th week until the birth is known as the fetal period. Number 2 is infancy. This age from birth to 3 years old. Development was a continuous creation of complex forms, and our helpless kind demanded the meeting the eyes of love. This is the time of extreme dependence on adults. For example, characteristics of infancy is they learn how to walk, they learn how to take solid foods, and they learn how to talk. Number 3 is the childhood, age from 3 to 12 years old. There are 2 types of childhood. Number 1 is the early childhood, age range from 3 to 6 years old. And that number 2 is later childhood, which age 3 from 6 to 12 years old. An example characteristics of childhood are learning physical skills necessary for ordinary games, building a wholesome attitude towards oneself, and learning to get along with age mates. Number 4 is adolescence, from 12 to 19 years old. There are 2 types of adolescence. The early adolescence, from 12 to 15 years old, and the later adolescence, from 15 to 19 years old. It is the period of psychological and social transition between childhood, juvenile, and adulthood. An example characteristics of adolescence are achieving the mature relationship with both sexes, achieving a masculine or feminine social role, and accepting one's physique. So this is the time when, for example, the female, the enlarging of breast, and the boys, the enlarging of their Adam's apple. And the last one is adulthood, beyond 19 years old. It has 3 distinct stages: the early adulthood, middle adulthood, and the late adulthood. Each stage brings its own of rewards and challenges. An example characteristics of adulthood is selecting a mate, or achieving adult social and civic responsibility, and other example is establishing of relations with one's own age group. That is the end of our child and adolescent development.